Why does every apartment listing show you 50 photos of the lobby? I don't need to see the front desk from 7 different angles.
It is true.
Because it's the only pretty part, Jeff.
Yeah, because we clean it every day.
They're like, or do you want to see this tiny white box that we're going to let you live in?
No, see, this is why we don't mess around with fluff on this segment.
All right.
We get straight to the point by asking what's on your mind. Starting with Brooke. Brooke, what's on your mind?
Well, it was my son's birthday over the weekend.
Older.
And I hosted the very first slumber party for him.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently, boys call sleepovers.
It's a sleepover.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't know that slumber party was feminine.
Can I tell you how excited I was for this? And you told me I cannot wait to hear what's coming next.
Well,
Brooke.
I'll let you know I am not a boy energy mom. I just don't get it. Like, I have a sister. I have an older daughter.
Yeah.
I have not done little boy energy because they're so sweet individually, and then they get together, and all they want to do is kill each other. Like, I don't understand. I planned, like, create your own T-shirt, like, craft. I thought it would take, like, 25 minutes, right?
Yeah.
5 minutes of just I'm like, does no one in this room care about aesthetic?
No. You gotta hold one of the kids behind his arms and let the other kids come up and hit him.
Oh my God.
That's fun.
So then immediately they go to the living room and they're wrestling, and I'm like, hey guys, no wrestling.
No,
And my husband's like, that's not a battle you're gonna win.
No.
Their little boy are jumping off the couch.
Yeah.
You just gotta pad the walls and all the sharp corners
Yeah.
and let them go wild.
Not even. Let them learn from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, it's just a realization that I have a lot to learn.
We'll all chip together and buy Brooke a book on how to correctly raise a boy. But for the
What?
meantime,
That's not what I was talking about.
Jose, what's been on your
Different
mind?
energy.
Well, I asked my dad recently. I was like, dude, if you and me were ever to do like a bucket list vacation, what would you want to do? Where would you want to go? So he thinks about it, and his eyes light up, and he goes, oh, what if we do famous museums, Jose?
Oh.
And I'm like, hey, like, that's actually great. I'm into that. And I go, so what are you thinking, brother? Like the Smithsonian or something?
Yeah, right, the Louvre.
And he goes, oh, no. And then he brings up Amsterdam.
Okay.
He goes, I heard that they have a torture museum.
Oh.
And I go, what? And he goes, yes, you can see all of the torture tools from the whips and the guillotines. Maybe see some blood from an old queen. A blood stain from the 1500s.
So your dad wants to do a death tour.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. I was hoping he wasn't going death tour.
Yeah.
Then he starts listing off a few others in Europe while we're there. So I realized...
Only pack black for your trip.
Pretty much the guy who always talks about death and brings up death to me on vacation also wants to focus on death. So.
Sure.
Makes sense.
To his credit, there's not a lot of museums that are about, like, hugs and happiness. It's usually looking
That's
back
true.
at sad things that have happened in the past.
I mean, I guess, but I was more hoping like, oh, cool, an old pelt from, back in the day.
Right. Oh, look,
It was used to smother somebody in their sleep.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Alexis, what's been on your mind?
So over the weekend, I was back in the city I went to college at, okay? And I was at one of my favorite bars, Hannah's, shout out. And I know it's mostly still college people that go there, but I don't care because I love it. So I'm going to go, okay?
Now you're looking like an old lady.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm there with one of my friends, and we see these two guys coming over to us, and we like look at each other, we're like, not our type, we're like, oh God, how are we gonna get rid of these two? Like, we don't want to talk to them. How are we gonna not? They come up and they're like, oh, so what are you studying at school?
Oh, they think you're still in college.
Yeah. And to which I was like, oh, nothing. I actually graduated a few years ago. And then they're like, oh, okay. Like, how old are you? You're not 22? And I was like, oh no, we're like 27. And the fear in their eyes when I said I was 27. They looked so scared and ran. Like, when I say physically turned, and I've never seen someone run from me faster than that. And then my friend looks at me and she's like, did they just leave us? Like, we are so out of their league. And I'm a working adult.
Yeah, you're the only one that could actually pay for the drinks in that bar.
Yeah.
So you started lying about your age after that,
I
right?
mean, obviously, I was studying communication again after that.
You learned your lesson.
For the rest of the night.
All right, Jeff, what's on your mind?
Well, would you guys consider me a man's man?
No.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Well, like Brooke, if you didn't know me,
Yeah.
Like, and you just saw me out on the street, you'd probably think that dude owns a big bad truck, and not what I really drive, a pastel Lexus with cream leather interior, hand
I would
stitched,
actually-
by the way.
I'd see you and I'd think that dude's gonna call his mom in the next hour.
Oh, good relationship with the family.
Yeah, sure.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, look, I released my inner man's man over the weekend.
Oh, you did.
And I worked on some projects around my house.
Okay, so what did you work on, Jeff?
I built a cabinet, assembling a desk.
Are you talking about just putting together IKEA furniture?
No, Wayfair.
Okay.
I love that site.
Yeah, high quality stuff on
Can
there.
you feel manly when you're using a little Allen wrench?
Well, the thing is, I noticed I was getting blisters from tightening everything.
Ouch.
And
That little.
my hands were not cut out for this type of labor. So I came up with a
You're very
brilliant business idea, perfect for women over 80 and for me.
Okay.
It's called Blue Collar Hands. So if you need to build a desk, but your delicate digits just weren't made for screwing and tightening stuff,
Yeah.
call up Blue Collar Hands, and we will send over somebody with palms so rough
Yeah.
and so calloused, they will knock on your door and leave a dent.
And they won't even feel as they're
Yeah.
knocking.
No.
Their hands are numb.
I feel like my dad could do that in retirement.
I've already reached
He's
out to your dad as one of our future employees.
And he said, it's like,
So-
yeah, this finger, I lost that fingernail 4 times.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that all my co-hosts are going to throw in some seed money to help me get this
Okay.
idea off the
Oh.
ground.
Take all my money.
Can't we just call it man hands? No?
No.
I like it.
I mean,
If you support it, text into
I don't really like the name.
78592. Jeff deserves Blue Collar Hands, and I will know that I have your support.
you just.
Hold on,
all
I'm
right.
texting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just jealous because you didn't come with the idea first. Text in 78592 and tell us what's been on your mind. It's Brooke and Jeffrey in the morning.